Welcome to my world. Won't you come on in?
Come on in.
Miracles, I guess, still happen now and then. Look into my world. Leave your cares behind. Welcome to my world, built with you in mind. Knock and the door shall be open. Seek and you will find. Ask and you will be given love's peace of mind. I'll be waiting there with my arms unfurled, waiting just for you. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world.
Hello, everybody. Songfather here on the 19th day of June, 2019. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing good. Today up here on the island of Long, another crappy day. Rain, then heavy rain, then mist, then none, no sun. Now it's getting darker again. Yankees so far is got the game in, and it's a legal game now. It's after 5 innings. It's in the 6th, and they got off to a nice start. 6-0 in the first inning, knocked the pitcher out, and then really nothing after that, all the way into the 6th inning, because everybody's swinging for the fences again. You know, and it's just like, I coached for, I don't know, not eight years maybe, and I always told the guys on the team, you have a big inning like that, that's great. God bless you. Your adrenaline's going. You get that feeling like you can't do no wrong. But when they make a pitching change, it's a new game. It's almost like coming out again for the first inning. So you got to be patient, and you got to get to to watch the mechanics of the pitcher, and so you go for the singles and try to get on base until you got this guy down a little bit, and boom, maybe you have another beginning. But thank God, CeCe's pitching a good game, and they put the 6 up, because if it wasn't for those 6 against that first pitcher, nothing. Makes me ridiculously mad. Ridiculously. So today, Paula Abdul's birthday. Tell me now, it's gonna be you and me forever. Oh, oh, oh. What was the name of that song? Hit and Run, yeah. And it's also 6 years today that Mr. Gandolfini went to heaven. And it's hard to believe it's 6 years already. And then, the filming of the new prequel, they call it, Sopranos movie, is done. Now it's in post-production, so I haven't heard when it's going to come out, but, I don't know how much I'm, going to be jumping at seeing it. I definitely want to see how his kid portrays his own dad as a kid. That would be interesting, but some of the other choices that they made to play the younger crew, I don't know, but, you never know. I just hope that it's real, that it was, a real honest effort, and not just an effort to get money, everybody to jump on it, to, I got to see that, I want to see that, We'll know if it comes out in pay-per-view. But, and I got 2 quick stories about Mr. Gandolfini. I was at a golf charity tournament in Jersey, X amount of years ago. And, there were a few celebrities here and there, a bunch of sports guys, whatever, but he was there. And so after you're done, and we'll go inside and having a couple of drinks, for the happy hour, and, who elected to go downstairs and change their clothes or shower up. Some didn't, some didn't, whatever. And so I was sitting at the bar, had a couple of drinks, and then, it's time to go sit at the table and get everything started. And I believe it was for St. Jude's. I think that was the charity. And, so, everybody goes sit down and get everything started, who makes the speeches, sell raffles or whatever. But the whole time we were at the bar having a couple of drinks, almost everybody that walked by, and I get it, I understand, but, hey, Tony, Skip, hey, how you doing? Tony, how's it going? Hey, boom, boom, where we going after this? We're going to the Bada Bing, and, so like after like the 10th time, I could see his face, like the pain that was in his, And so I just shake my head, and, he nods, and we go off on our way. So I go, and, where am I sitting? Oh, you're at a table or whatever it was, and he's at the table. So, I do a little maneuvering so I can get next to him. And so we're sitting there and waiting for everything to get started, and who makes a speech, and, then there's a break, and same thing starts again. Even people sitting right at the table, Tony, Skip, Bada Bing, this and that, da-da-da-da. Hey, my son, where's Christopher, and all that shit, And I said, that must drive you nuts, huh? And he says, I have a lot to be thankful for and to be grateful to Sonny, to Sonny. Yeah, to me, to Tony Soprano and David Chase and everything else. But, that was, it was over the series. And, it was a work project that I was on. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of the work that we did and the work that I did. But he had been in a war movie after that. I can't remember the name of it. And there was talk that he was going to be up for an Academy Award. That's how good he was. He happened to be a very good actor. And, which is evident by how many people, if he was still around, would still be doing that because he was so believable. They think he's right. I mean, I see things on Facebook. Who's the better, who you think is the better Don? Carlo Gambino, this one, that one, Tony Soprano. He's a character. He's not real. Why are you putting him on the same page with other, Dons? People are stupid sometimes. But anyway, so I said, so I said, hey, but I can't remember the name of the movie. Damn it. And I said, but you were great in that movie. I said, there was talk about, about you getting up for an Academy Award nomination. He goes, you don't get up for an Academy Award nomination. You get the Academy Award nomination, or you don't. And he said it like in typical Tony Soprano style. So I said, okay, yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying that's how good you were. They were talking Academy Award nomination. So he said, no, I appreciate it. I thank you. I really, really worked hard on that film. Really worked hard on trying to be that character and try to get away from, and he goes like this with his hand, what happens here everywhere I go, And he goes, so, it's a shame. It was great to me. It opened a lot of doors for me. Certainly took care of monetarily-wise, me and my family, everything, that was wonderful. He goes, but I'm going to be Tony Soprano forever. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to break out of that mold, And I said, yeah, it's kind of like, the Fonz is always going to, what's his name is always going to be the Fonz. And I understand. He goes, but, sometimes it just gets me. Henry Winkler, what a moron. Not him, me. And so he says, it just gets me down. I said, so the next person that does it, just give him the finger. I said, I watch, I see the tabloids, I see the stories on Facebook. You love to give the finger. So he laughed, that little boy laughed that he has sometimes. And sure enough, two guys come walking by. Hey, Tony, how do I get in your crew? And it throws his finger up. And they were like, whoa, what the hell did I just do here? I said, you feel better now? He goes, yeah, I do. Come on, let's have a drink. So that was a great time, Hung out for a few hours and then, snuck into the bar afterwards. It's what the hell, everything was on the arm. But when he passed away, he was in Italy and, he had the heart attack. And there was a lot of red tape. They didn't want to release the body and they wanted to get this and do that. And it was a whole bunch of rigmarole going on. And so they reached out to my father. And, as everything with him, one phone call and it's all taken care of. And so, he made a call over to the embassy, the Italian embassy, and they, boom, 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 the body came back. And, a nice letter and sent to him from the family and thank you and everything else. That's Pops. But, it's hard to believe it's 6 years. And, I feel bad for him because he really never got a chance to do that. To break away from Tony and just get out there and be remembered as James Gandolfini, the actor. But what are you going to do? So anyway. All right. So yesterday I told you about the boat. $750 worth of heroin. It turns out it wasn't heroin, it was cocaine. It is now up over $1 billion, 16 tons of cocaine. Not just in all the things, the boxes and crates and everything they found it in. They found it hidden under the hull. So they're ripping that whole thing apart now. And they're expecting it might be another 30 tons, which will bring it close to 1.5 or 1.6 billion dollars in cocaine. God, good job, guys and girls. Good job. Unbelievable. Stop that shit from coming into the country and getting into the hands of our kids and our families and our friends and everything else. Great job. But somebody's going to pay for this somewhere. Somebody fronted all that and put that all up there to get it over here. And so that's going to be an interesting development. But and then 36 people were arrested in New Jersey for an obscene amount of heroin and money and guns, and boom. So 36 picked up there. We had the two illegals, undocumented, down in South Carolina last week, and that was over $1 million worth of heroin they were trying to bring up the East Coast. So, they're out there. They're doing a great job, and they're stopping it left and right. But it really scares you to know that they're seizing all this stuff. They're going to run out of room to seize it, and it's still coming in. They're still sending it in here. So, keep on banging at the top. Bang, bang. And before we get to this next song, 3-year-old, and I didn't write what state it was in. I feel like a complete idiot, but sometimes it happens. And 3-year-old kid just got done raining for like 2-3 days straight. Puddles, rain everywhere, everything flooded. And this kid was out in the street, jumping up and down in the puddles, having fun. We all did that. And I did it last week. And so he, splash, boom, hit manhole cover that wasn't on, went all the way down and died. 3 years old, gone. That's it. Life is over. Nothing more. Nothing more to look forward to. No growing up. No nothing. So, yes, is it a tragedy? Yes, it is. Why was the manhole cover moved? Who knows? Maybe the water as it was flowing by. Because, once water is moving, it's very strong. So, that could have happened. But who was watching a 3-year-old playing in the street? It makes no sense to me. It angers me, And it's like when I told you about the parents that left the infant in the car for 16 hours and it died. And everybody was saying, well, let's go easy on them, they got to be devastated by this. Yeah, of course they're devastated losing a child. I understand that, but 16 hours, you don't go, I'm not going to go through the whole story again, but please. Well, it's the same thing here. Who was watching a 3-year-old kid? Why is a 3-year-old kid out in the street when the streets are flooded and everything else? What if a car lost control of itself and ran the kid over? I mean, there's so many things that could happen. But who? Who was it? We don't have the answers yet, but was it the parents? Was it brothers and sisters? Was it a babysitter? Who was supposed to be watching this kid that is no longer now with us? It just really got me nuts. But anyway, so let's say prayers for our soul and say prayers for the family, and they get my, they definitely get my prayers and my feelings. But I want to say they don't get my sympathy, but they have to get it. I know it's a devastating thing, but wake up, people. Unbelievable. So this first song is. I think most of you know the story. My father got me tickets to go see Elvis. I didn't want to go because, I didn't want to see a guy swinging his hips around. And then I said, well, there'll probably be a lot of women there. So I brought 3 friends and we went. And, I remember we were sitting at the garden and all the lights went on. The place was pitch black. I mean, you couldn't see your hand here. And then the 2001 A Space Odyssey music started playing. So I was like, I remember leaning over to my friend and I go, what the hell is this? He goes, I don't know, you brought me out. And I don't know. All right. And, it just builds up and the excitement is building up and boom, 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 boom. And then to one point, the lights come on and here he comes in his jumpsuit, and the tassels hanging and the big belt and waving to everybody and, doing his moves. And I'm like, all right, this ain't so bad. And then he started singing and that was it for me anyway. And so this is the one I'm going to start off with, and with the introduction and everything else. And he did it 2 ways. Either he did it with the 2001 Space Odyssey, which led into That's All Right, Mama. And then he also did the same thing, 2001, which led into CC Rider. And this is CC Rider because I love that song. Imagine you're there, Madison Square Garden, 1972. All the lights are out. What's going on? Genius, if you think about it. You know? You're already pumped just listening to this. Here come the drums. Right now he's walking across that stage, waving hello to everybody. He's doing his karate. Oh yeah. Let's see, since you rider, let's see what you have done. I said, see, since you rider, let's see what you have done. Well, you made me love you, hear what I say. Well, I'm going away, baby, and I won't go back too far. Yeah, I'm gone away, baby, and I won't be back too far. If I find me a good girl, I won't be back at all. Hear what I say? I said, see rider, I see what you have done. I said, see rider, I see what you have done. Yeah, you made me love you. Hear what I sing? Sing it, boys. Oh, Cece's pitching today. I just well, I'm going away, baby, and I won't be back too far. Yeah, I'm gone away, baby, and I won't be back too far. If I find me a good girl, I won't be back at all. Hear what I say? I said, see, rider. I said, CC Rider. I said, CC Rider. Well, I said, CC Rider. Well, I said, CC Rider. Well, I said, CC Rider. Yeah. Ah, CC's pitching, CC Rider. Ah. CC Elvis, see the pyramids along the Nile. I crack myself up sometimes. You know, even when I'm just sitting by myself, I just amaze myself. I think up these things and I laugh, and then I go, and I have to get up and pay the psychiatrist before I go home. But anyway, so yeah, that was like, I still get like, goosebumplies from it because, not knowing what is it, what's it all about, and everything goes black, and then you start hearing that, and and then boom, the lights come on, and then here he comes walking and just completely takes over the entire audience. Everybody just watching what he's doing, and he knows how to work that audience well, and the talent and the voice and everything else. It's something I'll never forget, and I almost turned it down, and I'm glad that I didn't. So the king of rock and roll. So we're gonna do a couple of Elvis today, and this next song, I'll do it right now, is from that lost album I told you about, and this one's called, I think it was from the movie Kissing Cousins. I'm almost positive. And it's called The Long, Lonely Highway. And, it's about a guy, he's on the road, whatever he's doing, and, it's like, it's getting long, it's getting tedious. He's all by himself, he's going from town to town. He's sleeping out in the grass, and then if she doesn't come, he's going to lose his mind. So, if they read about me, the line in the song goes, if they read about me, make sure you tell her she's the one to blame. Yeah. But it's called The Long, Lonely Highway from the Lost album from the movie Kissing Cousins. Love it. It's a long, lonely highway when you're traveling all alone. And it's a mean old world when you got no one to call your own. And you pass through town, too small to even have a name. Oh yeah, but you gotta keep on going on the road to nowhere. Gotta keep on going. Oh, there's no one to care. You just keep moving down the line. It's a long, lonely highway without her by my side. And it's a trail filled with teardrops that keep on being cried. My heart's so heavy, it's a low down dirty shade. Oh yeah, but you gotta keep on going on the road to nowhere. Gotta keep on going. Oh, there's no one to care, just keep on moving down the line. I got a rock for my pillow, beneath the weeping willow, and the cool grass for my bed. My drinking water's muddy, so don't you tell me, buddy, that I wouldn't be better or dead. Yeah, it's a long, lonely highway, getting longer all the time. And if she don't come and get me, well, I'm gonna lose my mind. So if you read about me, tell her she's the one to blame. Oh yeah, but you gotta keep on going on the road to nowhere. Gotta keep on going. Oh, there's no one to care, just keep on moving down the line. Moving down the line, moving down the line, moving down the line. If you read about me, make sure you tell her she's the one to blame. You gotta love that. All right, so let me take a little peek down here. How about this one? I don't know if you've seen it yet on the news or on social media, but at a Little League game, 20 parents got into a unbelievably, massively ugly brawl, punching, women pulling each other's hairs, kicking, smacking, one or two guys going around just cold cocking everybody, when they're not looking, knocking them to the ground. It was the ugliest thing ever. And it was all over, they didn't like a call made by the umpire, who was one of their child's 13 years old. Okay? So much for Colorado being the burnt out, pot smoking state. Everything's cool, man. Well, obviously these people didn't. I don't know what they got their hands on, but so, a bunch of citations were issued because it is Colorado. And but they're looking for the two guys that were, while people are fighting or people are standing around, they were just going up behind them and boom, sucker punching them, knocking them right to the ground. Real men, real brave men. Piece of shit. Look at that. And then in Vegas, I will say piece of shit for this guy, was caught and went to court, went to trial, found guilty, serving 5 to 15 years in jail for pummeling and beating his dog to death while the whole time filming it and then put it up somewhere, I don't know where. Somewhere in social media. I don't think it was on Facebook. But it's finally good to see that, I think until Facebook, until the past maybe 2 years or so, all right, idiot, this and that, you pay a fine and everything. Now, I think it was either right before or right after Christmas, signed a law across the entire country that animal cruelty is going to be treated, seriously. And anybody convicted of it is going to have to register, just like they have to register as a child abuser or sexual predator, whatever it is. So, at least wherever they go, people can keep an eye on them. But I mean, what would possess you? Unless you're being attacked by a rabid dog. I mean, what would you? Not a rabbit dog. Come on, wake up over there. But I mean, seriously, the dogs look at you. It's his own dog. It's not like and wags his tail. They can't wait for you to walk through the door. They jump up and down. They get all excited. They pee themselves. You know what I'm saying? When you're lonely, when you're sad, they come next to you and they make you feel bad. What would possess you to do that? There's another video I just saw yesterday on Facebook of some, I think it was 19-year-old guy. He just got arrested too. Same thing. The dog is cowering on the couch and he's filming it. Videoing it, whatever you want to call it. And he's punching the crap out of his dog. I mean, they should take all those guys, right? And girls, whoever's doing it. Like the lady that they caught, I think it was in Florida, dumping 15 cats and 7 dogs, into the water. They got them. They all lived, and then they locked her up. So they should take them, put them somewhere. And then, you pay a lotto. It's $5 or $10 for the lottery. And whoever wins it, right, 5 winners get to go in there and beat the crap out of all of them, okay? For $10, it's worth it. You go there, you punch their face in where they're cowering down on the ground, you pummel their face, you kick them in the nose and everything else. And then you go, and then all the money raised can build places, for strays and all these the cats and dogs and animals to go to. Some nice farm somewhere in the Midwest or down in the South. And wouldn't that be nice? I'll see if I'm going to get that done. So, so that was in Vegas, and thank God. So 5 to 15 years in jail. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So this next song, by the King of Rock and Roll, I love this song. I forget what song it was from though, but damn it. It'll come to me. You could look it up. I thought I wrote it down here, but I didn't. But I think it's maybe Kid Galahad. I don't know. But it's called Trouble. And it is just a down, dirty, nitty-gritty, tough man song. And, we always love singing, especially in the hospital. We used to work with a guy named Dave Rapp, who retired. But big. He spent 30 years in Sing Sing as a correctional officer. 30 years. He jumped, beat, knocked his teeth out of it. I mean, just nothing stopped him. And he's big Elvis, big time all the way. And so one day, we were bored and sitting in the lobby, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And there's a microphone at the front desk that you can use to page people that are sitting out in the waiting area. And next thing you know, he's standing up on the counter with the microphone, and he started singing this song Trouble, and it's just great. Of course I had to join him. What are you kidding? If you're looking for trouble, you came to the right place. If you're looking for trouble, you look right in my face. I was born standing up and fighting back. My daddy was a green-eyed lumberjack because I'm evil. My middle name is Misery. Yes, I'm evil. So don't you mess around with me. I never looked for trouble, but I never ran. I don't take no orders from no kind of man. I'm only made out flesh, blood, and bone. But if you're gonna start a rumble, don't you start it all alone, because I'm evil. My middle name is Misery. Well, I'm evil, so don't you mess around with me. Well, I'm evil, evil, evil as can be. I'm evil, evil, evil as can be. So don't mess around with me. I'm evil, 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 evil. So don't mess around with me. I'm evil. So don't mess around with me. Yeah. Come on, is that not a fun song? I'm really not evil. And neither was Elvis. But, nice. Nice. I just wish I could remember the movie. I remember that scene, too. I just remember it. Because after we got done, you know, he beat the crap out of the guy. So, oh God, excuse me. So anyway, I think I have gone through my notes. Let me take a quick peek. It's Yankees are winning 7-1. 1 out, bases loaded. Okay, so now we go up 4.5 games. And 7 over the Red Sox. So, yeah, piece of shit. We went over that one. Yeah. 47 more people have gone ill from going to the Dominican Republic. And one more death that just got reported late this afternoon. Retired police officer from Ohio. All at the Hard Rock Cafe. Like, what's going on? It makes you like, you got to be kidding me, you know. So the Donald Trump is taking money out of the kitty for the election, and he's paying for anybody that wants to go to an anti-Trump rally down in the Dominican Republic, all expenses paid. So, you know, if you guys are not for Donald Trump, here's a free vacation for if you want to go. It's not funny, so many people have died. It's 9 so far in the last year have died, and 47 more people. That totals somewhere around 60 just from people getting sick. Schools, senior trips who went down there, and it was a wedding destination. Just horrible. And like I said yesterday, now they're saying, I think somebody's messing with the liquor. Oh, you think so? They're messing with everything. For whatever reason it is. They're messing with the ice, they're messing with the water, the food, the liquor, everything. You don't have this happen. So many people dying, getting sick, deathly ill, rushing to hospitals. No, sorry. So something ain't right. Something ain't definitely right. And all right, so that's it for the news. Right? Boom, 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 bop, bop. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the news. Thank you. Ladies and gents, laughing looks at the news. This is Gary Owens. Okay, so here is one of my favorite songs from the King, and it's again, I'm going to say it. I say it all the time, just about, but it's a wonderful thing to feel and say to somebody, and it's a wonderful thing to hear for somebody, and it's The Wonder of You, great song. When nobody else can understand me, when everything I'm doing is wrong according to everybody else, you come and lift me up. You give me hope. You give me understanding. You give me strength. Oh, God. Oh, 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 oh. When no one else can understand me, when everything I do is wrong, you give me love and consolation. You give me strength to carry on. And you're always there to lend a hand in everything I do. That's a wonder, the wonder of you. And when you smile, my world is brighter. You touch my hand and I'm a king. Your kiss to me is worth a fortune. Your love for me is everything. I guess I'll never know the reason why you love me as you do. That's a wonder, the wonder of you. Play it, James. Mr. James Burton. Oh, 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 oh. I guess I'll never know the reason why you love me as you do. That's a wonder, the wonder of you. Wonder of you. So what happens when you go live sometimes. Still got that thing in my throat. But it's a good one. Good song. The wonder of you. You give me strength to carry on. You give me everything I need. It's perfect. It's wonderful. And excuse me. Like I said, what a wonderful person to be, to hear that. It doesn't have to be just husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend. It just could be anybody in your life. Family, cousins, people you work with, whatever. And saying, thank you for giving me that strength. Thanks for believing in me. Thanks for smiling and making my world a little bit brighter. Wow, what a tune, what a tune. And so, Martha, my dear, wanted to hear, we call her Marty now, she likes to be called Marty. She wanted to hear Good Night, My Love by Jesse Belvin, and one of my favorite songs of all time, especially at the end of the night, you're at the club and you're striking out worse than the Mets. And finally, there's a girl over there. You want to dance and they play this song. Doesn't work. But it's a beautiful song. Good night, my love. Hey, you know this song. Good night, my love. Pleasant dreams and sleep tight, my love. May tomorrow be sunny and bright and bring you closer to me. Before you go, there's just one thing I'd like to know. Is your love still warm for me? Or has it gone cold? If you should awake in the still of night Please have no fear. Oh, I'll be there. You know I care. Please give your love to me, dear. Oh, good night, my love. Pleasant dreams and sleep tight, my love. May tomorrow be sunny and bright and bring you closer to me. If you should awake in the still of the night, please have no fear. No, I'll be there. You know I care. Please give your love to me, dear. Oh, good night, my love. Pleasant dreams and sleep tight, my love. May tomorrow be sunny and bright and bring you closer to me. Good night. That's a good song to end the show with every night. And so, again, I apologize for that little screech there. I got to start maybe doing a little honey, warm water and honey, just to coat the throat a little bit, Stop the cigarettes, that's for sure. I understand. Believe me, I've been. And, just keep it lubricated. Stay out of the air conditioning once in a while, too. So, yeah, there's a lot you got to do. But, I'm a perfectionist, so I don't want to, I don't want you guys going, what the heck, I waste all this time for to hear him do that. 99.7% of the song is right perfect, so come on, give me a break. And then I made it up with the good night, my love. Please. Thank you. Oh my God, Tino's not even looking at me. He's so embarrassed. So anyway, that is the show for today. The Yankees are up 8-1. Bases are still loaded. 1 out. Bottom of the 7th. This could be a major blowout. And Stanton is not playing today. All the BS and the hype, and he's coming up. I can't wait to get him started. And here he's back. He's back. Played 1 game. Now he's not in the lineup. So I hope that doesn't mean that he hurt himself. Or maybe this Encarnacion thing was to get him there, and they're going to trade Stanton for like 20 pitches. I don't know. But, Grand Slam, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, boy. Grand Salami. Can't see who it is. Looks like Gleyber Torres. A Grand Salami. 12-1. Oh. Now we're going off on a happy note. So listen, everybody, you have a good night. Thank you again for everything you do, everything you say. Spread the word. Tell your friends. It's I think so far it's an enjoyable hour. And, it's real. It can't get any realer, Realer? Wheeler. Real. All right, so anyway, I love you. Thank you very much. Ciao. And here we go. 1, 2, 3. Bam. And for Anna Marie, I told you we're going to continue to do the eyes because she wants to see it. So ready? Here we go, everybody.